Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Come on in and sit down. It's time to start church. If you're at home, it's time to settle in. Put your distractions aside. Talk quieter or come in here. You know, we have some choices this morning. I am the Reverend Mandy Goheen, and it is my honor to serve this congregation as its minister. This is a congregation where we are talking about friendship today and what we need in place to build friendship and how important it is to have places where we feel affinity, fondness. So welcome here today. Welcome no matter what brought you here. If you're new here, welcome. We're so excited to see you. If you have been here every single time, we are so excited to see you. If you're ready to build beloved community today in this space, we're especially happy that you're here. And if you don't know what that means, let's just stay tuned and we'll talk about it a little bit. One of the claims to fame of Unitarian Universalism is Ralph Waldo Emerson was one of our people. He was allegedly a horrible minister. He was asked by a friend who he went to sit at his bedside to never come back. Friendship and ministry are two different things. We'll talk about that a little bit today, but I would like to open with his words. He wrote a beautiful essay on friendship. He says, "We have a great deal more kindness than is ever spoken, bearing all the selfishness and that chills like east winds in the world. The whole human family is bathed with an element of love, like a fine ether. How many persons we meet in house, whom scarcely speak, whom yet we honor, whom, though silently, we warmly rejoice with. Read the language of these wondering eye beams. The heart knoweth. The emotion of benevolence from the highest degree, passionate love to the lowest degree of goodwill, they make sweetness of life." That is friends. And now I'd like to invite our board president, Andy Foskey, forward to light our chalice. And we light chalices in Unitarian Universalist churches everywhere to start our service. It's the mark of the beginning, a circle of light encompassing this community. Please join me in the words. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Candles and masks, not always a good combo. So let's sing together this morning. Let's sing if we're here. Let's sing if we're at home. Let's sing and remember this song as we go into the world. Please rise in body or spirit to join us in number 347, Gather the Spirit.
Appear all the same. Gather
now, this is not in your order of service, but I would like to invite Judith Pedersen-Ben forward to give us a social justice moment. Oh, there you are. Whew. I know there's a microphone here. Can we borrow that? Social justice and justice is the core of beloved community for us, working together, doing the good work of the people. And Judith and Judy Gallagher are our chairs of social justice, and she is bringing us a reading in a moment on social justice this morning. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone. I have a couple of things. One is, you will notice I brought some more of these magazines. These are social justice magazines. It's called Yes, a Journal of Positive Futures, and it comes out quarterly, and I'm a distributor. So this one is about work, the future of work. So I invite you to take one, and I have more. Take one for a friend, too. So share them out in the community, please. So the reading today is from World as Lover, World as Self by Joanna Macy. I'd like for you to reflect on the fact that the average breath you breathe contains about 10 sextillion atoms, or 10 to the 22nd power. Now reflect on the amazing fact that the Earth's atmosphere itself is of a size to contain the same number of breaths. This remarkable symmetry, which places you midway between atom and world, also means that with each exhalation, you take in an average of one item from each of the breaths in our world, and with each exhalation, send back that same average of an atom to each breath. This exchange is repeated 20,000 times a day by each of the Earth's billions of people, producing such an interbreathing that, as scientists conclude, each breath you breathe must contain a quadrillion atoms breathed by the rest of humankind within the past few weeks, and more than 1 million atoms breathed personally sometime by each and every person on Earth.
So this is a time where we're going to talk about a creature. This is our time for all ages, and we're going to talk about a creature that is breathing with us. And I have noticed something out and about lately, flittering around. Can anyone guess what's been flittering around? Oh, I had the wrong. Thank you, Skip. Give me the right. Butterflies. Okay, so I'm going to tell a story called Homer's Wings. You ready? Are you listening? Okay, good. I just have to make sure these two, I have a good audience. I don't know that it happened this way, just to be clear, but I do know that it is true. That long ago, far away, more likely recently and quite nearby, high up in the mountains near Chattanooga, on a black cherry tree, an egg was laid on a leaf. The caterpillar's name was Homer. Homer looked around surprised and wondered to find himself alive in the world. "Better eat your egg casing, little friend," said a black, sparkly caterpillar nearby. Homer did just that. And it turned out, and then he turned to look at his new friend, and his new friend said, "Welcome to the world." And Homer said, "That was delicious. Thank you." And Alex said, "If you think that was delicious, try this leaf you're crawling on. You'll love it." They were instant, what we would call friends. Together, the two caterpillars munched on leaves that spring through rain and sun and sunrise and sunset. They laughed together at the antics of the baby birds and hid together under leaves that black, sparkly caterpillar had collected so that parent birds could not catch them. Alex taught Homer all he needed to know about life on a leaf, and how to stay safe, and how to munch some more, and how to enjoy feeling the wind stirring the trees and the sun slowly warming the mountains each morning. Together they gazed each night up at the beautiful moon. What are you? But one day the black spiky caterpillar started doing something totally new and different. What are you doing?" asked Homer. Alex carefully pulled down silk on the underside of a twig in the newest collection of leaves and began to hang upside down. "I'm making a chrysalis," said Alex. "A what?" "You'll see." And over the next couple days, in the shelter of the leaves, the spiky black caterpillar shifted and shed its skin and became a strange, lumpy brown thing, hanging there, not making any conversation. What could this mean, thought Homer. For a week, Homer munched quietly by himself, watching the strange brown hanging thing that used to be his friend, wondering and worrying as the strange lumpy brown thing shifted in color and in size and pattern. And then one day, the strange lumpy brown chrysalis pushed an even stranger new creature out. Homer watched this new creature, pumped blood into its black and white and bright orange wings, and unfurled a strange new mouth. What? Who are you?" The creature turned and looked at him and said, "Oh, little friend, I'm still Alex, the one you laughed with and hid and munched leaves and watched the moon with. But now I am a butterfly, an admiral butterfly, to be specific." And said Alex proudly. And then Homer said, "But you changed. You were constant. You were with the moon. And now you've changed. We sat and looked at the moon together. What are we supposed to do?" Alex smiled gently. "Oh, friend," they said, "we're supposed to change. Why, even the moon is different night to night. Sometimes we see all of it. Sometimes we only see a sliver." "But I don't want to change," lamented Homer. He was scared and sad. His friend said, "Change is part of who we are. And our new friendship must change too. I must fly away in search of flowers and other butterflies, and eventually I will fly south to stay warm for the winter. You must continue to eat and grow and stay safe from birds, but you will change too. Just remember, you are loved, and whatever your body does, you are beautiful, and you are a friend, and I'm glad to have known you." And with that, Alex took to the sky. All that summer, Homer, the little brown caterpillar, ate and grew and hid and watched the moon, which indeed did look different every night. Homer became bigger and browner and more caterpillar-y. His white splotch turned into two little eye shapes on his head, so he looked like a fearsome little snake, and no birds ate him. Day by day, the seasons moved towards autumn, like they are now, right? Finally, Homer found his own safe spot to hang upside down and shifted into a chrysalis. It was kind of scary, but Homer remembered his friend was brave. All winter, the chrysalis hung there safe and still. In the spring, Homer felt himself stir, felt his new body shift once again, and wiggled free to find himself with a new mouth in a different shape and wings. Wings that were yellow and black and blue and orange and glorious. "Oh my," said Homer, the Appalachian swallowtail butterfly, gazing at himself with wonder and delight. And then he took off into the sky, up towards the bright moon, and swept across Lookout Mountain, and then went and laid some eggs. The end. Yay, that was a good one, huh? I like that one. So that was our time for religious education for people high school and below, and you are invited to go downstairs. I see Talia and Amy look like they're wandering that way, and we're going to sing you a little song that's in the order of service to get you off into the world. Let's take a deep breath of that air together. This is called A Prayer Among Friends by John Daniel. Among other wonders of our lives, we are alive with one another. We live here in the light of this unlikely world that isn't ours for long. May we spend generously the time we are given. May we enact our responsibilities and thoroughly enjoy our pleasures. May we see with clarity. May we seek a vision that serves all beings. May we honor the mystery surpassing our sight. And may we hold our hands to the gift of good work and bear forth whole as we are borne forth by the power we praise on earth. A homeland we love, a homeland where we are friends. This is a time in the service where we will sit in silence for a couple minutes. Maybe ponder on friendship, perhaps. Ponder on what has gone well this week, what has been particularly hard, what brings you to this space today. I'll ring the bowl. We'll set for a couple minutes, and when I ring it again, Andy is going to come up and help us light candles for our joys and concerns. If you are online today, we want you to participate. Please put in the chat that you'd like a candle lit, and I will be glad to do that at the end. So now I'd like to invite you into a time of silence. Now, Andy will light another candle just for the joys and concerns we might not have been ready to light a candle for today, and just an extra one for folks online. And maybe one more for people who are watching later. Seems like it was important to light a lot of candles today. So this is a little joke, not that funny, but I heard as I was walking away, we need a hymnal, and I thought, what in the world is going on behind me? So I do want you to know that I am pretty good at changing that wick, but if we're ever in trouble again, Andre's your person. He masters that. He is my friend in changing the wick. Thank you for your patience, and I love the working together to figure that little problem out. Yeah, great. So there's a lot of poetry today. The reason is I love poetry. That would be a good reason. But one of my favorite poems by one of my very favorite poets is To Be of Use by Marge Piercy. And I've read this to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Chattanooga's board before, but I want to read it to all of us today and just be thinking about, because something about me, when I'm working with someone, that's when I start developing friendships, when we have something that we both have an affinity towards. And I just love this poem because it sums it up so well for me. Maybe it was because I was raised on a farm and working class, but it has many reasons. The people I love best jump into the work head first without dallowing in the shallows and swim off with sure strokes out of sight. They seem to become natives of the element, the black, sleek heads of seals bouncing like half-submerged balls. I love people who harness themselves an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and the muck and move towards things, forward, who do what has to be done again and again. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go into the field to harvest and work in rows and pass the bag along, who are not parlor generals or field deserters, but move in a common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire must be put out. The work of this world is common as mud, botched and smeared. It botches and smears the hands, crumbles into dust. But the thing worth doing well has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphiphors for wine or oil, Hopi vassals for corn, are put in museums, but you know they were made to be of use. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and the person for work that is real. Work that is real. That is where I have found friendship in my life. The work of parenting, specifically, I've made more friends because my kids were friends with someone else's mom's friends. You know, that often works together. Parenting in this context of the world with small children was a place where I went for friendship. My kids are teenagers now. The moms don't hang out quite as much. I have to find other places to develop friendships and to develop friendships in work, places that I have an affinity for. One of the places has always been the Unitarian Universalist Church, or churches in general. It's a place where I can go and find people with common needs, common goals, common beliefs. When I stopped believing as much in the context of hierarchical religion, I found Unitarian Universalism. My first volunteer job as a lay leader, somehow they saw it, they knew. I was on the volunteer recruitment squad. They said, oh, she will talk to anyone. Okay. And they asked me to open by reading a poem. And I read this very poem that day. It was the first time I'd ever read it, the first time I'd ever thought about it. And then people came to me and said the next thing about me. Well, of course you read like a cool poem. I should have expected that. And I was like, I didn't expect that, but okay, thank you. I found it in the hymnal. So my friendships grew in church. I have a good friend. I have a common thing with Emerson. I'm going to read what he says. I must feel pride in my friend's accomplishments as if they were mine, and a property of his virtue. I feel warmly when he is praised as the lover, when he hears applause and is engaged. My friend said to me a couple weeks ago when she came here, that might have been last week, time's moving weird. She said to me, "Why do you always introduce me as your friend, the nuclear engineer?" And I started thinking about that. That's pretty weird, right? Like, this is my friend. I've known her for years. We've been on these all adventures together. We have all these things in common, but she's a nuclear engineer. I have a pride in what she does. I have a pride in the fact that she has busted through a lot of the BS of an engineer's world as a woman. I have a lot of pride that she is, at heart, an environmentalist and storming the castle from the inside. I love her presence, but what I love the most about my friend is that I get to be me with her. I get to let my guard down. It has been a big adjustment as a minister to shift where my friendships come from. I have a great affinity for all of you, trust me. I love working here, but it is, because I am a minister, not appropriate for us to be friends. We're in shared ministry together. I have a role to fill of creating spaces where you all develop friendships, but I must look to colleagues to develop friendships. And you might wonder why I'm saying this. This is all about shared ministry. That's the focus of this church, when we share. The reason why it is not appropriate for me to be friends with you, which seems a little strange, is because in friendship, there is a little bit of power over. I have the power of understanding what a friend has told me and to adapt my behavior to be with them. I might have an opportunity to completely be myself with them, but this is a ministry job for me. And if I became friends with someone here, like deeply, like we were going out to coffee every day, we were doing all this other stuff together, I could start learning more about you and maybe manipulating or taking advantage of your role in the church. And that's specifically what is not cool, right? Like, oh, I know all about her kids, so I'm not going to ask her to help with the social justice committee. That might be the beginning of it. Or they're too busy to help at church because I know what's going on with them at home. This is different than being your minister. I want to clarify this. Being here to cheer you on and to hear what is wrong with you and not put my own crap on top of it is what it means to be your minister. Like, I tell you a lot of stuff about myself. I learn from my mistakes beautifully. But to lay that burden on you is inappropriate. And it's called boundaries, and I'll tell you what, those boundaries got me through the last 2 years. Because I got to come here and be a minister and do the things that I could do to help this church grow and change and get through pandemic and all the things we've done. I got to lay aside the burden of what I was worried about at home and focus my energy and attention and joy here. It's my calling, it's my job. It's my calling and job to live our principles as fully as I can, but sometimes I need to hang out with people and say bad words and do things that are slightly inappropriate and just let my guard down. But that is not the job of a minister. I have a friend, and we've been best friends for a long time. We're kind of struggling through living far away from each other right now. And we do this awful thing together. I'm just going to admit it. We talk like snarky Southern ladies. So convincingly that we cannot do it around children. Because they think anyway. It's gotten out of control a little bit. I talked to a colleague about that. I said, this is kind of inappropriate behavior for a minister to act like that, right? To joke on football players. Oh, whatever. All the things we joke on, and bless your heart, and all those things. And My colleague said to me, no, that's super appropriate. That's what gives you the space to do ministry, to have a spot where you can act like that, to let some steam off. That's what friendship's about, right? I want to be in a relationship with the people in this church of doing the work of ministry together so that you all are successful. You all have spaces to build friendships and acquaintances and affinities for each other. But it's oddly not about me. The first 3 years I was here, I said a lot, I am a cheerleader for you all. And someone beloved in this community called me on that, and I appreciate it. Because I am not a cheerleader. I have so much more invested than just cheering you on. They asked me to reframe that as possibly being a coach. I still don't get sports analogies very well. But I like that idea. An organizer, a coach, a person who helps people think deep thoughts. And even if I don't say the smartest things on earth, it might lead you on a quest to find the smartest things on earth, right? You might go out somewhere and say, oh, Reverend Mandy reminded me that if I believe in the inherent worth and dignity of everyone around me, I have to believe in myself too. Oh, Reverend Mandy, oh, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of my role, a role of coaching and guiding us on this journey of exploring our spirituality, figuring out who we are inside. Friends are different. And I want to say that poem about working together is an opportunity that I want to take today. We're going to do some organizing around here. Remember the coachy thing? Organizing. We're going to start building working groups this week. That sounds, look, you all look so excited. Well, I kind of can tell through the mask. They're like, oh, you want on to working groups. So we need to get some work done around here, and we need to do it more purposefully. And I can cheer for you all day long, but you all need to get it organized. The good part about being the coach is I got to pick the things we're going to work on first. This week we're going to work on working groups. Next week we're going to work on small ministry groups. So the next 2 weeks are really important. So I'm glad so many of you came today. We need a kitchen crew. That kitchen needs some fixing up, needs some throwing some things away. There is soda in there since before pandemic. I can't imagine it was good then. It needs cleaned up. We need a kitchen working group. We need a hospitality group. Sunday mornings, we didn't have a wick in the candle. I think that was just like the perfect metaphor outside of sports to say that we need a hospitality crew here on Sunday mornings. And that doesn't just mean greeting. That means making sure there's a wick in the candle, making sure the candles aren't all burnt out, hymnals and chairs, visitors having someone to talk to, not just the greeter, like welcoming. Bring flowers. All kinds of things can be done with this working group of hospitality that we are going to organize in a minute. There is an online element to all of this. We have been hearing some folks online say we'd really like to have a Zoom community where we can have coffee hour a couple times a month and get together and talk. I can't do that standing right here. And I know there are like 15-ish people right now watching us on live stream. There's a chat there. I would love for you all to come up with a time where you can meet and have coffee. We'll get the Zoom together. We'll even come if we can, if it's not right after church. There has been a tricky space, though, is that this building hasn't exactly been open yet. So we talked to staff. We had a discussion. Well, Farron and I, we like to be bossy. And we've decided that the church is open. So all these groups I'm proposing, and I have clipboards for them, and you're going to sign up and divide. Don't worry, that's going to get way worse than it already was. All these groups I'm proposing, there are times when this church will be open. We will be open on Wednesdays. I'll be here in the evenings on Wednesdays. Monday night, we have a staff meeting. You can still stop by and say hi to us. We get here about 4:30. Thursdays, Farron and I are here I get here at 10:30-ish, of course, but we're 10 to 3. There are hours posted on the door, and here's my favorite one. Wednesday nights, I will be here. So if you want to have a group, a working group, if you want to have a little get-together, if you want to use this building, it is here and open on Wednesday nights. Let's do it, right? Saturday. I will be here on Saturday, except the 4th Saturday of the month because I'm off. I will be here from 10 to noon. I promise. Unless we're doing something amazing like quarterly council. Has anybody ever heard of that? We have a council of this whole church, and in October we're going to start meeting again on Saturday. It's time to do the work together. It's time to build affinity and friendships. It's time to be like those seals in the water, their heads bobbing up in their own element. Our element here is to be a place where people can come and explore who they are safely, not be asked to give up a burden of some silly thing that taught them that they were bad in the first place and that they can't walk in unless they are good. We are not asking anyone to do an altar call, a little bit in a minute because we do have clipboards, but we're asking people to be here, to be real, respect your own inherent worth and dignity, and then respect everyone else's. But most importantly, this is a place to make friends, and that is so hard right now. That is so hard. People aren't gathering the way they used to. We're kind of twitchy when we do. We don't quite know how to be together, but this is a place where we can focus and practice together, doing the good work of Unitarian Universalism, building friendships, and creating something that is very unexpected. When you work together and build friendships, you suddenly belong. I talked about that a few months ago. You don't fit in. Fitting in doesn't work. It never worked for me, or I would have had friends in kindergarten. I would have had fitting in is a way of adapting yourself to be in a space. I want folks to belong here, and the best way I know to help us all belong is to do this good work together. May it be so, and blessed be. We are going to do the offertory, and then we're going to do we're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. So I am so excited to have Jonathan Wilson singing "You Got a Friend in Me." He is offering some talent for our offertory of treasure. If this is your first time here, please let that plate slide right by you. If you would like to donate, every amount is welcome. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $100. We have ways to give online, and there's even a phone number you can text to give in the order of service. And now the offering will be gratefully received.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, then I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. If we stick together, then we'll see it through. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Now some of the folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me.
please join me in our offertory response, which is also the mission of this church. We give these gifts freely, committed to our mission to care, create beloved community, awaken hearts and minds, resist injustice and act with compassion, embrace life and care for the earth. To this work, we dedicate our offerings. And speaking of offerings, yesterday was awesome. I'm a little tired, but yesterday was awesome. We had a board retreat yesterday. So I'd like to invite anyone who is a board member to come on up here, even if you weren't at the retreat, Dylan. Out playing music. This is our working group extraordinaire. This is your board of directors for this church. They are the ones who are making the vision happen. They're in charge of the finances and the business end and the admin of this place. We have Christian, who is super committed. Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you that. Christian, uh-oh. I'm going to pass the mic along and let you tell who you are and what you do. And what we did a lot of talking about this yesterday. So who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm glad you all are sitting lean back as we're talking.
You have 2 seconds. I have my timer in the office.
So I feel called for congregational life, kind of do all the partying and all the groups and find friends, just in the best sense as we just heard it.
Hey, I'm Sally Picciotto. I am here for religious growth, which in a lot of ways includes religious education, all of that lovely stuff that happens downstairs today and upstairs for the beginning and every second Sunday. We're trying to make sure that we have great educational resources for kids and everybody at our church.
And I'm Andy Foskey, and you already know that I'm the board president, so I get to herd all these cats.
I'm a cool cat. John Standridge. I work some on outreach, but it's we work on everything together.
I'm Judy Gallagher. I'm the secretary of the board, which means I take copious notes of all these great things and ideas that come from these people you see before you. I also am a champion for all our social justice work.
I am Dylan Kutzman, and I am the president-elect.
I'm Dave Ben. My official title is Resources, but I watch over the building and the grounds and part of the finance committee to kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the church.
Can we get a big round of applause for these folks? They all came because I told them to, because I told them I was going to give them a present. But guess what? Amazon let me down. The present I was going to give them is a book of poetry called Conflict Resolution for Holy Beings. And we used the poem in that, see, I said I'm on a poetry kick. We used a poem of that book to structure our board retreat yesterday, and I would just say it was a really big success. I really think that it is a fabulous group, and I think we're going to show y'all how much fun it is to lead and govern this place. So thank you all. You all can be released to the, thank you. So, we're going to rise in body and or spirit and sing our closing song, number 346. This is a song I used to rock my youngest daughter to. I think at 14 she would be offended. But every time I hear this song, I think that I used to sing and rock her. So, please join me.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come
I have this thing where I make up words to songs, and so I remembered as we were singing that what I would sing to her, which was, "Baby, please go to sleep or I might lose my mind." So it was just, I forgot or I might lose. Okay, so shaking it off. So what? I have some clipboards, and what I would like us to do, so we're going to divide into 4. You can leave your stuff where it is because we're going to come back. You can leave. Huh? Oh, you can. Were you singing again, Andy? Oh, we can do whatever. So I am part of the undecided working group up front. The undecided working group might help with stuff like painting my office, moving furniture. Maybe undecided people are here for the first time and are scared of what we're going to ask them, so you can come see me. Farron is a Sunday morning hospitality working group. Dave, love Dave Ben, he is buildings and grounds working group. We need people to mow the grass. We need people to watch the building. We need all kinds of stuff. And Andre, I didn't tell you I was doing this. Where are you? Oh, to be the spouse of the minister. Ugh. Kitchen and coffee working crew. He has a heart for this kitchen crew hospitality stuff. So you can see Andre. So we are going to, Jennifer's going to play like weird music. Oh, there's pens. Like ding-ding-ding-ding, like some kind of timer music. And we're going to take... Jeopardy. That sounds good. So we're going to get up and go to those sign-up sheets. And if you have an announcement because you were together with those people who want to do that thing, announcements are next, and you get to make one. We have 5 minutes. Go. Sign up. Online. Sign up. conversation. It's already juiced up. You're already talking to the right people. We do have some important announcements. This is a big one. No one's listening. I should have done this at the very end. Oh, my gong. Oh, I like it. Oh, gong and it's the Gong Show, not Jeopardy. Ooh, I did. Beloved announcements, everyone. We have a huge one. Yesterday during the board, I'm just going to talk over you so we can end church sometime. Yesterday during the board retreat, there was a consensus vote of the people present to change the COVID policy in this church. Change it to wearing masks in big groups on Sunday mornings, watching the numbers, and letting go of contact tracing and having to present your vaccination card. It is our feeling that the majority of our population is vaccinated. We have seen good proof from that. But we want to, like I said, be open. And it's hard to be open when you have to sign in and everybody's stuck at the front door. So let's let folks know this place is open. We're going to be watching the CDC for levels, and we will adjust mask wearing during service. If they go down a significant amount, we'll ease up, okay? Or you can always wear a mask. You're always welcome to do that. One of the things we're going to ask very, very specifically, if you're sick, stay home. I know that sounds silly. I know it sounds silly that I have to say it, but I'm saying it to me too. I'm as bad as anyone else. If you are sick, stay home. There's a rule that the school allegedly follows that if you have had a fever within 24 hours, don't go. You can't go back to school. The world is opening up in ways that feel a little scary sometimes to us, and we need this to be a place where we have sanctuary. So let's continue to monitor the numbers. Let's continue to wear masks while we're singing in big groups on Sunday, and let's be respectful of each other by not coming when you're sick and wearing masks when it makes others feel a little more comfortable, but adjusting specifically when people can't hear. It is so hard for folks to understand what someone's saying when there is a mask on. And there's places, if you're uncomfortable talking without a mask, we can go outside. I mean, there are lots of options. We are trying so hard to make this a beloved community of good work and friendship. And I always think saying someplace is a safe space is kind of arrogant because I can't ever guarantee that. But this is a brave space to be together. And if this is a brave space to be together, we're going to follow our mission and we're going to care for one another. Okay? So that's a big announcement. Does anyone have any littler announcements? Yes, Christian has littler announcements. Where's Selena, Christian? Well, that's why I'm here. Oh, you need that. Oh.
I'll be happy to, because just as we also stressed yesterday, so to hear each other better, and as we have this new sound system, making sure that everybody can hear, so that we use the microphone when we speak from the front. Well, I mentioned before congregational life, and so now we're kind of adding another bit to it, kind of let's get going. So last Wednesday, we had our pop-up potluck on Wednesday evening. It was an amazing success.
It was so fun.
It was more than 20 people coming here. There was tons of laughter. We had people from ages from 2 to, well,
don't mention,
you wouldn't believe it. So it was a really great time. I talked to several, and they said, can we do that more? And, we had these Wednesday evening dinners before. What can we do? So we said, well, kind of to make it simple enough for you, there's currently the first and third Wednesday coffee hour. So how about to do a second and fourth Wednesday dinner? So I talked already to some people about that. I have already found 2 people along with me, so there's already 3 of us. It's a potluck. That means not we are cooking, you all are cooking as you're coming. When there were more than 20 people, we had food for 30. So there was no issue at all. We had more than enough food if everybody brings something. What I want to do is I want to find 4 more people, 7, the glorious 7, for second and fourth Wednesday dinner. And if it's going really well, maybe we even become the inglorious 7.
Ooh, inglorious. Anyone else? Oh, Jennifer,
Pick me.
yay.
I have a mic. Hi, everyone. The choir started back rehearsing this morning. Looking for a group to be a part of? Come join the choir. We rehearse every Sunday morning. We gather about 9. We try to start rehearsing by 9:15. We rehearse 9:15 to 10:15. So we've got an hour on Sunday mornings. There is no experience required. So if you want to come sing, please do. We'd love to have you. So join us next Sunday morning. Thanks.
Yay. So the other announcement from me is, remember the sermon raffle? Did you bring $5? I have raffle tickets. Farron, tell me the date the sermon I'm raffling off is. My brain. We choose the winner on September 11th.
September 18th is the sermon.
September 18th is the sermon. So what that means is for $5 small dollars, or as many $5 bills as you want to buy tickets for, you get a ticket, and if your name is drawn on the 11th, you get to work with me. I don't care if you just got here today. You get to work with me and figure out what the sermon and the service is about the following Sunday. That looks, I thought this was going to be exciting-er. You all are like, now she wants us to do her job too. Great, right? We're raising money. Oh, Andre?
Can I buy tickets?
Yeah, oh no. My husband cannot buy tickets. I guess you can. Anything for wowzers, because we're raising money for guest speakers for the Sundays that I'm not here. So that Wednesday thing is cool, because I'm already going to be here on Wednesday nights. Remember I said that? If you have any other groups or any other things you want to do on Wednesday night, I'll be here. And I'd love you just to stop by and say hello sometime. Thank you so much. This was a very productive Sunday. If you didn't sign up on Dave's list, I like Dave's list. If you didn't sign up, you got a chance to, go help. We need help around this place. And have a wonderful week, and take the love and the friendship of this place out into the world with you, because it's infectious.